Black Betty had a child. Bam-a-lam, the damn thing gone wild. Bam-a-lam, she said a word out of mind. Bam-a-lam, the damn thing gone blind. Bam-a-lam, I said, oh, Black Betty. Bam-a-lam, whoa, Black Betty. Bam-a-lam, whoa, Black Betty. Bam-a-lam, whoa, Black Betty. Bam-a-lam, Black Betty had a child. Bam-a-lam, the damn thing gone wild. Bam-a-lam, she said a word out of mind. Bam-a-lam, the damn thing gone blind. Bam-a-lam, I said, oh, Black Betty. Bam-a-lam, whoa, Black Betty. Bam-a-lam, whoa.
Okay, today we are going to lower our 2017 Grom. I got the lowering link in, and we're going to get it done. So thanks for watching F8N. Please like, share, and subscribe if you want to see more videos on our 2017 Grom. This is the shop Grom as I showed in a previous video. It is a 2017 and it is brand new. There is absolutely nothing done to this thing, but we're going to change that starting today. So what we have is a lowering link that we got in, and how that works is you just remove this coilover from the bottom end, and you put that lowering link in place. We might have to shave the fender. I'm not sure. It's pretty tight fit in there. I don't know if you can see. You can see how tight a fit that is. So what happens is that link pushes that the coilover back to drop the back end down. It says 2 inch. We're gonna lower it 2 inches, but I think in reality it actually only lowers about 1.5 inches. So we'll see. All right. So here is the lowering link. This comes in from Composimo LLC. I don't know how to say that. I think that's Composimo. It's a website that I just found online. They seem to make really good stuff, and they have a lot of things for the Grom. So you can check them out if there's anything on there you'd like. The reason why I picked this this company was because of how good these parts look. These are machined, aluminum machined parts, and they look really, really nice. So what you get is these two pieces of the lowering link, left side and the right side. You have to, they upsell you on this little adapter shim right here. I don't think you have to have this, but it helps with I think clearance issues, and it just looks better. So I think it was like $5 or $10. This whole thing, I forgot what I paid for it. Let me look. It doesn't say on here. I think altogether, I think it was like 60 bucks or something like that. So it says that it's a 2.5 inch billet rear lowering link, and like I said, from what I've read online, you actually only get about 1.5 inches, but that should be good enough for what we need. So let's go ahead and open it up. Again, on the packaging, pretty nice. It's not too flashy. It's pretty simple, so I appreciate that. These look like they're all stainless steel bolts. So that's nice. So I'm actually going to go ahead and leave these in here until we need them, because these washers there's a lot of washers in there. But you can take a look at this. I bet this doesn't take any time at all to machine. It looks like this is probably done in a mill. Looking at these mill marks here, it looks like it's probably a 1/4 inch end mill there, cutting all this out. but it's really nicely done, and they got their little logo right here. Really light too. I mean, it weighs almost nothing. And they just go together like so. And I believe this is the front and this is the back. I think this is the right orientation here. Yeah, I know where a drink is.
Yeah. There's a drink in the car.
Hey, go get one. And then they throw in their stickers here. So these are nice if you like them. I don't think I'll be using them anywhere, but they're pretty cool stickers. Okay, so issue number 1 on this 2017 model, they rerouted the muffler to the side of the bike, but then underneath they also have this pan, and I don't think this is on the other models. I'm not for sure, but I don't think this pan is on the other models. So with this pan in the way, and I don't really understand, it's almost like it's a muffler to the muffler, so I don't really get it. I don't understand the purpose of this pan here, but you can see that the exhaust comes off the bottom of the motor. It's a really tiny exhaust. I mean, look at that thing. It's probably an inch. That's probably 1 inch pipe. 1 inch pipe. Then it's got this shield here, this heat shield. Then it goes into this pan, and then you have the exhaust, which looks like it has another heat shield around it. But what happens is you have nowhere to lift this bike up, and you have to lift this bike and relieve the pressure that's on that coilover right there. So instead of making my life any harder and trying to get fancy with lifting this thing with the jack, I think I'm just going to use my handy dandy forklift over there and wrap a strap around this thing and lift the back end of it up. So I don't know if you recall, but in one of my last videos I talked about my forklift and how many different uses it has and how many ways I've used it that I didn't think I would need to. And yet again, here's another great reason to use a forklift. I'm thinking I can put a strap right in this area without damaging it, hopefully. If not, maybe I can hook something around here or something like that, and just slightly lift it up and get the weight off of it. You don't have to lift it up very high, hardly at all. You just got to get the tension off of that coil over there. So wish me luck. Hopefully I don't drop this thing. I'm gonna get everything set up and get to work.
show you what you cannot do.
So this is our strap. It's a nylon strap. It's got some hook ends right here. So this is nice and soft. It won't damage the bike or the plastic. We're just gonna wrap it around just like that and see how it works. I got it up. That was a little nerve-wracking doing it by myself. If I had another person to hold the bike, it would have been no problem. Just lift it up. I knew there was somebody there. The only thing I was worried about was lifting the front back end up and then the front end tilting over to one side. But just being easy, going slow, and adjusting it as I went worked out pretty well. And it's pretty stable. It's not going anywhere. I got all the pressure off the back wheel, and that back wheel is just floating. So I'll bring you in just to show you a little bit. So you can see my straps here. I tilted the fork up so that the straps don't want to go forward, and got it around in this nice little crease right here. And this wheel is free flowing, so now I've got all the tension off of this, and I can do whatever I need to do. So let's get some tools and get this fairing off of here. This rear fender just takes a Allen wrench. I don't know what size this is, but I just picked one and it happened to be the right size. So there's one on this side, and then the one on the other side is a little trickier because the muffler's covering it up. This one's pretty easy to get to. Just like that. Oh, we'll go to the other side. Oh, there's one more right here. I just noticed that. Alright, got that one off. Now, you can see that one is tucked right behind the muffler there. I can't hold the camera and do this at the same time, so I'll get this muffler or the fender off, and then we'll come back. Okay, I got the rear fender off, so now I got to take these bolts out, or this bolt out. I already broke it loose. It was pretty tight. Another thing a lot of people do right off the bat is they replace this shock. So this shock's not bad, but if you're a fat guy, it's not going to do a whole lot for you. So you definitely want something a little bit sturdier, probably has a little bit more shock resistant. So this is also one of the first things a lot of people change out. I probably will change this out eventually too, but they're pretty expensive. They're a couple $100 I think. So I'll do that after, I don't know, we'll see how it works, and then I'll change it out whenever I need to. So I've got all the pressure off of this wheel now. So this bolt should come out. There we go. Just like that. All right, halfway there. Let me go, let me grab the lowering link and see how that looks on there. So if you're just trying something new, or you're not very mechanically inclined, and you're just trying to, you're just getting into, you know, fixing up something like this, then, you know, some instructions might help. I didn't see anything online either, so there are some videos that show you how to do it, but I just, there's not a whole lot out there that shows you how to do this exactly. So I'm going to mock everything up, And I'm assuming it goes like, well, let's see. Okay, I think this is it right here. Yeah, this is it. Okay, I see what's going on. So this bracket right here, you've got these, this little lip, and this lip fits, it tucks on top of that bracket, and it keeps that from spinning out of place. So I'm pretty sure that's the direction it goes in right there, just like that. So let's get the first bolt in there and see how that looks. See, one of the things, you know, instructions would help is, you know, telling you, you got a washer that goes on here. I'm assuming right now that this spacer, there's an aluminum spacer, and right now I'm just guessing it goes right in there. And that's to keep the stability of these two pieces of metal where the shock used to be. Just like that. And then the other bracket here, actually I put it in backwards, see? Flip it around. This one goes in here. And we have the bushing. Then another bracket and another washer. And we have the lock nut. So that looks right to me. We're going to go with that for now. So we got the bolt, we got another washer. We've got see, now we need to lower it, or we need to raise this wheel. There we go. Raise this wheel in place. It's kind of tricky with one hand. See, if you had a jack, you could just lower this thing down to the correct height. Because I don't have this jacked up, now I have to raise this back wheel to the correct height. There we go. Now we got another washer and another lock nut. All right, last one. Bolt, washer. And then this is where the that special spacer comes into play. If I can find it, I lost it. All right, found it. Actually, this isn't a washer, this is a spacer. There must be like a magical leprechaun or something that moves your parts. Because it's like, you know, when you come down to the very last part, it's always, something's always missing. It never goes as smooth as you want it to. Alright, I got it in there. That's kind of tricky to navigate in there. And now I've got this chain kind of in my way. That's kind of tough. So I'd probably recommend putting this bottom one in first, because now I'm having a problem getting it to line up. I got it. All right, I definitely recommend doing that bottom one first. That one's kind of tricky. All right, got everything hand tight. Let's take a look at this thing. So you can see the orientation of this. And you know, that's something else that instructions could help you with, is just the orientation. I mean, you have no clue what bolt goes to what and the orientation of it. And you can see that we have just a little bit of clearance here on the tire. So I think I am probably gonna have to be cutting a recess on that fender, but we'll see how it fits, maybe not. All right, I'm gonna tighten these things up, and then we'll get the fender back on, and then we'll take a look at it. So you can see how the chain gets in the way of this bottom bolt right here. So I had to get an extension so I can tighten it up. Another thing instructions could tell you is a torque value on this. So, if you're doing this professionally, you probably want to have some type of a torque on it, but I'm just going to get it nice and tight. It should be good to go. I'll give it a little test drive, and I think we'll be fine. Okay, I think we're good to go. Let's get the fender on here and see if it's going to clear. And just as I thought, it is not going to clear. So you can see right here, we're going to have to cut a little recess out for that shock to go up in there a little bit. I'm only thinking about maybe about an inch. Cut out about an inch of that material there. Just a little half moon out of there. So let's go ahead and get that done. Okay, you can see I made a little half moon here. Just gonna, I'm just guessing on this, and we'll see if this will work. I'm sure there's a lot of ways to do this, but I'm just gonna use a metal file here. This is used for metal, so I think it'll do okay on this plastic. Hopefully don't chew it up too much. Okay, that's working pretty good. I got the rough cut done, so now I gotta just do the fine edge, and that should be good. All right, let's see if it fits. Alright, I'm doing something wrong here. Okay, believe it or not, that is actually not deep enough, so I'm going to have to go up some more. Alright, let me do that, and then we'll come back and see if we can get it to fit. Okay, I finally got it to fit. That was a little tricky. I had to take out a lot more material than I thought I would. I ended up taking out about a good 2, almost 3 inches out of this fairing here, just to make it clear. You can see that in there. Now I'm just hand tightening the bolts so I can get this fairing in place, just to make sure the clearance is good. Got my last bolt here. Well, it looks like I'm still not clearing. I need about at least another 1/2 inch. All right, let me get this done. Okay, finally got it in there. 3rd time's a charm. You can see I got about a 1/2 inch worth of clearance in there. I ended up taking about 4 inches out to make clearance. I had to take out a lot more than I was expecting. But it's good to go now. I got all the bolts in place. So I'm gonna tighten these up and then we will drop it. Okay, well that worked well, and I can tell it's noticeably shorter, lowered, smaller, whatever you want to call it.